how was the road that you traveled from prison to POP? Like, how was that for you?
Well, actually, that transition into POP was pretty simple. But before I knew anything about Pop, I kind of sitting in that prison, man, was like it's like the worst thing that I felt that ever happened to me. You know what I mean? And but ain't nobody to blame but me. Some of the choices that I made in my life. But inside of prison, I just continued to make choices. But I made good choices. Life doesn't end just because you're in prison. You still have to get up in the morning, manage yourself throughout the day inside of the prison wall. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And and for however long you're there, that's what you have to do. I just decided that I was going to do my time my way. I wasn't going to follow nobody, listen to nobody. I don't care who you are, where you from, what set you claim, and all of that stuff meant nothing to me.
Right.
I was just. I knew I wanted a better life, and although I had a whole lot of time, I didn't have a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So I still envisioned myself later in life. And that was the vision that I kind of held on to. So that's why I kind of I followed my own path. Started reading books, for lack of a better title, How to Be a Better Man. I mean, I've never heard of a title of that book. I'm pretty sure it's a title, but those types of books, self-improvement books, So I started looking into self-improvement books. I relied heavily on my belief and faith in the Lord, So, and I just did my own thing. So when I heard about Pop, I joined it. I actually heard about it through my brother RLT Israel, who was one of the original Pop guys. Okay. While he was in one facility making that transition out, I was still doing my time. But he used to write me back and say, "Hey man, this power of people. Listen, take this book," because he sent me the book. Take this book, read this book, man. When you get here, man, when you hear about this, you have to join it. It's coming. And that's what happened.
And that was actually that's a smooth transition into my next question, because I was going to ask you, what was the dynamic inside that attracted you to POP?
Prison has its own little politics, you know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
It's like, and it's really stupid. It's like a Darwin type thing, you know what I'm saying? The strong survive or whatever. But it was like, that stuff was just too weird for me, man. It was like, that was the kind of stuff that caused me to be here. Mm-hmm. Why would I want to continue that while I'm here? You know what I mean? That transition of Pop, when, the things that Pop brings to you, like, it's almost as if like it's a chastising. It's like he's reading your private mail. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that very first time I was in class, the things that he said out of his mouth, I knew I was in the right place. I just knew I was in the right place because it was what I've been searching for. It was a language that I needed to hear. For one thing, I mean, needed to hear.
Right.
Absolutely. I didn't need nobody to like be nice to me and try to suggest to me. I need somebody to tell me what it was.
Yep.
And that's what Pop does. He tells me what it was, and you can't refute it. So that was the thing that kind of really solidified my stance with Pop, and I knew that I was going to be involved.
Absolutely. And your brother helped with kind of creating the buzz and putting that bug in your ear and saying, "Listen, man, like this is where you need to be."
He planted the seed because he and my brother, he knows me, so he knew that I was seeking the light. Right. He knew that I was seeking righteousness. He knew that I was wanted a better life because of my walk inside, even with him. So when he planted that seed about the Pop, and then when I finally got down to Faribault, and Pop was, and I seen it posted, Pop class be starting I can't remember the date when it was. I think it was in April, so it would be starting April. I immediately signed up because the seed had already been planted. I was still hungry at that time, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So why did you buy into PLP versus the other programs? Was there a difference?
There's a major difference. The major difference that I seen in a lot of programs is just pretty much kind of textbook. You know what I mean? They have a written, they have like
cookie cutter.
Yeah, it's like they have a written A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. And it's like, okay. So I took those programs. Don't get me wrong, because they offer them. So I took those programs. But people it's more. It makes you think more. Not only does it make you think, it enforces your belief in your thoughts and your processes. It's okay to make mistakes. Thinking is free. It's gonna happen. There ain't nothing you can do about it. You're just gonna think, whether you want to or you're not. But you have the power to control that. You can quiet that thing down, or you can make it loud. It's up to you. Your control. So, power of people is different in that it is interactive. It doesn't tell you that you're weak. It doesn't teach you that you're weak. It teaches you that you are very powerful. You are very powerful. It doesn't tell you that you're weak. You're weak. You ain't nothing you can do, so you just gotta roll with the punches. No, it tells you that you're strong. You're very powerful.
Yes, sir.
And then it also teaches you that oftentimes that's what you're afraid of. You're scared because you're that powerful, and you're afraid of that responsibility. Mm-hmm. But Pop doesn't only teach you that you're powerful, but it teaches you that you have to be responsible with that power. And then it goes in to teach you how to do so.
Absolutely.
So it's totally different from the other programs. The other programs just tell you a thing, but they don't tell you why. Absolutely. Pop tells you why. Mm-hmm. Not how, not where, not when. I mean, it tells you how, where, when, and what, but it answers the question why.
Wow.
That's why I chose.
That's powerful. Yeah. So what made you stay and continue to be a part of the pop movement? Like what? Because you could have just took the class and just went on about your business, correct?
Yeah, right.
But you chose to. I mean, I'm guessing. Well, first of all, how much time did you do altogether?
I did 23 years, 8 months, roughly 24 years.
Roughly 24 years. So about what time through in your and at what year did you come across PLP?
I came across PLP in 2008.
All right, let me
2008.
2008. So how many years in?
How many years in?
Did you come across PLP?
2008. 2008. I joined PLP in 2008. Okay. And I've been involved with PLP ever since.
Okay. And so what was it like that made you just continue to, because I'm guessing you stayed on to become a student teacher?
Yeah, I stayed on to become a student teacher.
One of the best from what I hear. So why did you do that? What was it about PLP that made you stay and be a part of this movement?
People used to ask me when I was walking inside of prison. People used to ask me or used to make comments to me like, "Man, Israel, man, it's you walk around here, man, like it's just like it ain't nothing. Like this
like
is
you're free.
Like there ain't nothing wrong with you. Like you're free. Like you know what I'm saying. I used to tell them what I am. I mean, I'm physically constrained, but you know what I'm saying. This is just a temporary thing. I'm more free now than I've ever been in my life. You know,
yes,
it's just I'm just physically kind of stuck in this place. You know what I mean? Waiting for them to open up their door. Yeah. So, but it wasn't because of those questions, but those questions helped me realize that people want this.
Yeah.
They want it. They want this knowledge.
Absolutely.
And they don't know that they want it, but they want it. Or why else would they be asking me out of the blue, "Hey man, why you walk around here, man? Like, ain't nothing wrong." It is a lot wrong, bro, but I'm not gonna just be stressed out about it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I just knew that people needed it, and I got it. I grasped it. I grasped it. You know what I mean? And I wanted to teach it. You know, so the idea of being a student teacher was just it was like icing on the cake. It's cherry on top. Absolutely. You don't even have to beg me. You don't have to ask me twice. Yeah, sure. And I was a student teacher for the whole time. Wow. After I did Power of People, did the silent cry.
Wow.
So I did the silent cry, which was the kind of advanced kind of
which
class.
is
You know, where you kind of delve in on your own and you do the lessons on your own. You know, with the syllabus and the curriculum that Dr. Price puts out. She created the syllabus, and I learned it and I did it, man. And I did the silent cry twice, and after that, I began to teach the silent cry.
Absolutely.
Of course, me and other student teachers of pop, you know, yeah.
And this is all inside the institution.
And this is all inside the institution, yes.
Okay. Wow. So now this probably is a deep question. And it may be difficult to answer, but because it's a very deep but simple question, what has POP done in many ways to support you?
To support me?
Mm-hmm.
It changed my life completely. It changed my life completely. A complete 180-degree turnabout.
How so?
You know, you grow. Everything that you think you know is not yours. It's not yours. It's not your thinking. It's not your creation. It's not yours. It was taught to you. I was taught a bunch of stuff in my life that I believed to be true. You know what I mean? And a lot of those things proved to be very detrimental to me. Landed me in prison. You know, believing in such things. You know, Pop has just it pretty much just it saved my life in the sense that everything that I thought that I knew was completely wash. It was nothing. You know what I mean? And so I had to kind of like dump that out.
Unlearn and relearn.
To just dump all that out of my cup, and then I just set my cup down and just let the pop just fill it up. So I had to really just kind of reprogram my thinking. Pop said it best. It's like, the 3 R's: retrain myself, to reposition myself, or retire. Because prison, that's like motels 8, motel 6. They keep the lights on, and they ready to retire you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Or a trigger happy cop is ready to retire you, or a fool on the street is ready to retire you. So I had to retrain, reposition, or retire.
That's powerful, man.
And I retrained. Pop retrained me, and it repositioned me, you know. And I'm going to retire on my own terms.
Wow. It's powerful, man. It's powerful. So where do you think you would have been without POP?
It's hard to say exactly where I would have been without POP. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here obviously having this question and answer, having this interview right here. But I do have faith that because I had a strong belief in myself before Pop, I think that I would have found myself finding a way to be productive member of society as I am today. Yeah. I think I would have found a way to be a productive member of society. Yeah. So I mean, it's because like I said, I was seeking the light before I even heard about Pop. You know what I mean? And I was seeking it strongly. It wasn't a pretend thing. So that's why pop was just a very easy transition. And I stuck with it. You know, it was a no-brainer.
And so now, like, what are some of the successes? I mean, like, you've had so much success upon your re-entry into the community. Like, how has POP played a role in your transition back into the community and into society?
A major role.
Like, what are some of the?
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, what are some of the, community involvements and just some of the achievements that you've accomplished, be it private or social. Like, what all have you been able to accomplish?
Well, pop. People, it gives you a language. It gives you a language, and this language is a universal language, and it is a language that people really can't ignore. You really can't ignore the language. You can try to, but you can't. You really can't ignore it. When a pop guy opens up his mouth, people will listen to you. Especially if when you got that language. Mm-hmm. So I think the language helps. You know what I mean? I think the desire helps. So, and with that being there, when opportunities come about, like mentoring boys or volunteering to feed, to do things when devastating incidences happen in other countries, when your own pop brother need help or something like that, it's like pop has. The Pop Institute has, they kind of have their hands in a few things, you know what I mean? And the leadership itself, they can't handle everything. They need people to do those things. So here comes Adoniyah Israel, pop guy, through and through.
Yes, sir.
You need me to go? I'll go. I'll go, and I'll handle it. I'll handle it for you. Make sure everything is okay. These boys need some mentoring? Absolutely, I'll do these boys. The transition has been wonderful because I am now doing everything that I had in my heart to do. To help where help is needed, to reach back to my peers and some of my young brothers and young men to try to share my experiences with them, to try to help them to make better decisions in their life so they don't have to experience the things that you and I have experienced. When it comes to jobs, like I said, that's what goes back to the language. You get that language. What that language does, it's not like he tells you to say something. It's not that. It's that now you know who you are. You know your power. And you are more in tune with self. And who knows how to put on the best presentation for yourself than yourself?
Absolutely.
So this is what Pop has done for me, because all of the knowledge and my understanding of who I am, all kinds of doors open up to me, like, again, mentoring boys from 6th to 8th grade or between the ages of 15 to 24,
and grown men inside the institution.
Yeah, and absolutely grown men inside the institution. Mm-hmm. It has afforded me the opportunity to be in a family of like-minded individuals that I know want the best for me, just as I do for them, So it's I've only touched on a few things because those are a few things that kind of come to my mind, but there's a lot. There's a lot, and we're not done.
Absolutely,
we're done. We pretty much just kind of scratched the surface. I've only been home for 2 years. I'm not done.
And let me just say, man, I've sat back, man, and watched your journey, man, and it's just been a pleasure to see you transition, man, and it's just been a powerful thing. I've taught alongside you, involve a youth development, equity-based community engagement. I mean, like I've sat and mentored men, young warriors, at-risk youth, and I've seen how your words saturate the minds of these young men. I mean, you have the respect, you have their ear, and you have their heart, and you do it from your heart.
Absolutely.
And I can tell because, you know, you had a teacher like Mr. Price and Dr. Verna who taught from their heart.
Absolutely.
But taught you that cognitive piece and taught you your personal power and with how to use your head.
How to use my head. That's right.
Tell you that I'm absolutely proud of you, man, and keep shining, man. I mean, you're an unbelievable role model to your family, and I mean, it's a sense of pride. You know, you got a healthy relationship, and your children can see, they can point to you and say, my dad is someone who I want to actually grow up to be like.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And I mean, you know, I look up to you, man. I'm proud of you, man. And I thank you for doing this interview.